Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beaches and Matcha. I actually still don't know how I want to say it, how I want to introduce Beaches and Matcha or welcome to Beaches and Matcha. I'm still trying to figure out my lingo. And that's the best part about these next 10 episodes. I feel like I want to and will find out who I truly am in the podcast to be. So I'm really excited to be here and so excited to film. I've gotten comments from my friends and my sister. She was like, I don't like where you're filming. But then I got a comment from someone who's helping me refresh the branding of Beaches and Matcha, and she was like, I love it. And I was like, you know what? Until I feel more comfortable in a different part of the house, I'm gonna continue to do it in my bedroom, especially because it's my bedroom. I love it here. This is me. So I hope everyone's having a great week, and you're probably wondering where's your matcha? Let me tell you something. On Saturday, November 9th, 2024, I started this super strict diet to the point where I only get 3 cups of coffee a day, and obviously I have the food that I need, but it's so specific, and in order to receive results, you got to do it extremely correct. So what I have instead is my glass of water in a green cup. But if I were to be drinking matcha today, I would definitely add my coconut milk, a little bit of sweetener, but I always have recently, not always, but I've recently have asked whoever's making my matcha, or if I make it, I put the sweetener in the matcha and I mix it. Obviously to true matcha drinkers, they're probably girl, that's wrong. And I know, but it's the best because then the sweetener doesn't clump. And so that's how I would have drank my matcha today, but I guess today we're drinking water because we're on a health journey that's gonna probably take a long time. And today a topic is this topic today is going to be quite special to me. It kind of came to me over the weekend when I was deciding what this episode should be about, and I made quite a longer episode about it. I actually printed papers, and I talked to friends about it, and I was like, what do you think? And then I was like, oh, that's too much information to put into 15 to 20 minutes. I don't know how long I'm going to end up recording today, but I thought to myself, I was like, that's way too long. Although great material, I hope, it's way too long. And over the weekend, coincidentally, I hung out with my 17-year-old cousin who, inshallah, will be going to university in the coming fall. And it kind of dawned on me. I was like, if she were to watch Beaches and Matcha, which I hope she does, I don't know if she does, but if one day she were to decide to open Beaches and Matcha and watch, I would want her to kind of see it as a big sister platform for her, where she could actually take what I say and put it into real life. And one of the topics that it dawned is how to make friends. Obviously she has friends. I'm not saying she doesn't, but she's about to start a new chapter in her life. And I'm sure there are people not just starting universities, but also starting new jobs and moving to new places. You start a new chapter of your life somewhere new, where most, I would say around, let's say minimum of 50% of your friends aren't there. And when you move, one of the best parts about your movement is that you're actually going to make new friends. You're going to see new personalities. You're going to grow as a person when you meet these people. So it's a beautiful, beautiful time for you to just explore and meet. And I was like, okay, well, this episode is going to be about how you make friends. And now, everybody take this with a grain of salt. This is how I make friends. This is how I felt it's worked for me. And I've noticed in the patterns that I've used for my top 5 friends and top 10 friends, that the patterns were almost identical. So maybe I just attract the specific, the way that I do make friends, resonates with specific personalities. But honestly, it's it could be very different. But this is not more of an advice, but this is kind of I'm going to tell you how I make friends. I find having friends in your life is super important. You have your family, right? And then you have your friends who are going to be there for your whole entire life, and you're probably going to meet new friends on the way. You're going to let go of some friends on the way, and you're going to have your life partner if you're lucky. That's what I was watching a podcast with Trevor Noah on Diary of a CEO, and he really said that. He said that line. It's you're going to have your family, you're going to have your spouse if you're lucky. And he said that, and he's your friends are always going to be there. And he's so right. These are one of the most amazing relationships you'll have with different people, because it's truly about them wanting to be there and you wanting to be there for them. And so I'm just going to go at the beginning of that journey. How did I make friends? What were the tactics, or not even tactics sounds so like like what were the, I don't even want to say strategy. Like, I'm not a consultant. Like, do I look like like me chilling in my bedroom look like a consultant? Absolutely not. I don't think I have the answer, but this has worked for me. So obviously, like, sense the vibe. You will know, you will sense the vibe when you meet someone that this person is meant to be your friend. Like, you can tell, like, if there's a vibe that you, when you meet someone for the first time and like you click and you're like, oh my god, like we laugh at the same jokes and it's like really easy to like talk to them, you'll know that's a vibe. Like, that's a vibe for you to kind of like a little bing in your head to be like, hey, this person could be my friend. So, like, an example for that, when I was the first semester of university, I actually met one of my best friends, but we weren't friends until like we started university at the same time. We started in 2017, of February of 2017, and we officially became friends in September of 2019. I knew who she was between 2017 and September 2019. I knew who she was, and like we ran in the same circles, but we never properly hung out until like I moved in with her in September of 2019. And I remember during the first semester of like university, I was friends with her roommate. And I remember walking into my friend, her roommate's room, like to pick her up, like we were going to go hang out. I don't know what we were going to do, but I was there to see her roommate. And then like I got to talking to her. I was like, oh my god, like this girl's so cool, like Phenomena. This is, I feel like by now you should, like if you were watching this, you would know it's you. So shout out to Phenomena. Like I walked in and I was like, oh my god, Phenomena is so cool. And I remember trying to strike a conversation with Phenoms and it didn't like work. I was like, okay, well, I see the vibe and this person's going to be my friend. I don't know when, but she's going to be my friend. So I closed the door. I don't know what happened the rest of the day. I think we went out with a bunch of other people. I don't even remember. I just remember that like dorm room. I was going to pick up her roommate, Sophie. We're going to go do something fun. And then I met Phenomena. And then fast forward a few years later, I needed a place to stay while my other roommates / friends had to go somewhere. So I had to go to their internships, like, yeah, somewhere. And I got the opportunity to live with Phenomena, and we have been inseparable since. The first week that we lived together, we actually kept missing each other. I would come home too late, and then she would wake up too early to go to work, and then blah, blah, yada, yada. And then one day we finally were in the same apartment, our apartment at the same time. I sat on the couch and she was behind me in the kitchen. I don't know what she was doing. I think she was like drinking something. And like we were kind of like doing our own thing. And I just turned around and I went, do you want a cigarette? And like we've been inseparable ever since. We even went to do our nails the next day. Like it was beautiful. Like we had a beautiful time. We had a beautiful friendship. I am so grateful in a way that I got to live with her because, you know, like semester one me like knew that the vibe matched and like knew that we were going to be friends. And like, lo and behold, like the universe knew we should be friends. So he put me in her apartment in September of 2019. And she, to this day, is like one of my best friends. So shout out to you, Phenomena. I miss living in Grand Chemin 49. Like that was home, especially like that was home. And like we made it home because we were also very good friends, like, you know. And so like that's why I say, like, just if you sense a vibe with someone, like, okay, like maybe you don't right away like attack and be like, oh my god, like let's hang out, or you do. Like it just depends on the vibe. What I also tell myself is like, get over yourself. Like just like not in a, oh my god, a fly, it's still here. I re-recorded this because like my mom walked in. It was really funny. But like, so a fly was here. Anyways, moral of the story. I always say, get over yourself and make the first move. Like if you meet someone and you really like their vibe, like, oh, you notice that you guys have similarities, you laugh at the same jokes, and like you have the same energy, there's like absolutely nothing wrong to be like, hey bro, like you're cool, I'm cool, we just moved to the same city, like give me your number, let's hang out. And honestly, like it sounds really daunting and like you might feel like, oh my god, like I don't want to do that, like you feel anxious to do so. Just do it. Another example for you, we were invited to a dinner. Me and a bunch of like 7 other girls were invited to a random dinner. No same girl knew the other girl. Like no one came knowing who was coming except for the host. And I had just moved to Lebanon at this point for like an internship. So I sat down at the table next to my friend now, but she wasn't my friend then. She had also just moved to Lebanon, and she made fun of me for bringing my own food to the, oh, funny thing is I was also on a diet then. I brought my own food to the restaurant because I still wanted to join, but like I couldn't eat because I was on a diet. So my mom had suggested, she's like, just go and bring your food. Like if they tell you don't eat, like halas, like just eat later. I was like, okay, whatever. So I went and I did that. And my friend, well, not my friend at the time, but this person, her name is Dodi, she looked at me and she laughed. And she's like, you literally brought your own food. And we sat next to each other and like we kind of vibed. We didn't really talk that dinner, but we sat next to each other and we got to knowing that both of us had just moved to Beirut to, like, she was doing research and I was what's it called, like I was just working at a hotel at this point. So I literally looked at her, I was like, just give me your number, like let's hang out. So we took each other's numbers and like within a week I was like, yo, like you want to hang out, like let's go. And so we, from then on, we were also very inseparable in Beirut. Like we would always do everything together. She was also from my hometown, so we would travel all the time together. Like it's one thing to make like your like get over yourself, make the first move, go like we should hang out, like why not? But there's also, you need to follow up. They probably teach you that in school, and especially at work right now where I work, like it's all about the follow up. Like there's one thing to just be like getting the message across, but if you actually want to do something about it, you have to follow up. Forget who you are, follow up. I say when it comes to friendships, follow up 3 times. If this is my rule as a person. If I followed up 3 times and I've tried to make plans with you 3 times, and each time you say, no, I cannot, no, I cannot, no, I cannot, and neither in all 3 plans you have suggested a different time or like said like, hey, like actually I can't, like let's do Monday at 5 instead, I will take that as a sign like, hey, like I misjudged the vibe. And that's fine. Like what? Like it took 5 minutes of my 5 minutes in total of my life to like follow up with you 3 times and done. And like sometimes like you may catch a vibe, but maybe it's not supposed to be reciprocated yet, or it's just not meant for you, so you don't know. So like don't get like have fear of like rejection. I know like this is very like relationship type, but like think about it, like even like platonic relationships are still platonic relationships. Like you still have to make effort with your friends if you want to keep them in your life. You still need to go not out of your way, sorry, you still need to make it out the door to hang out with your friends, to create a bond, to create a relationship, to build memories. Like you're not just effort is important, don't forget. I would also say another important like factor is connect. Help your friends connect. Like if you're worried about going to a party where there's not many people and you only know like one person, like the person you were invited by, go. You don't know what's going to happen when you go. Like there are like obviously not every party that I've gone to in my entire life I've walked out with like a bestie, but obviously I've gone and I've had a great time. I've put myself out there. I've built my like my social skills, like by going out and connecting and like meeting new people, you build up a social tolerance, and you build up like you begin to understand where the vibe lies and where the vibe is not relevant. And I think that's really important for you when you want to make friends, because if you go somewhere with the intention of constantly just making friends rather than like having a good time, you may get worked up and like socially anxious and you not be able to navigate. But if you go kind of in the sense, I'm going to have fun, I want to go and connect with people just to hang out, you never know what comes out of it. I right before I moved to Spain, I went to a party in 2020. It was like a party on the lake in Le Lavaux or whatever, and I just went kind of with my girls. Like I went with them. It was really fun, and I got there and I was connecting with other people, like who, by the way, now are actually more of my friends. And I was telling them I was moving to Spain. I didn't know anybody, and by having that conversation with somebody, her name is Yeva, she actually introduced me to her friend Greta in Marbella, and now Greta and I are, we call each other amiga. She's a friend that I see every single summer. I keep in contact with her all the time, her and her sister. And like, if I had not gone to connect with others and to see people and to meet people, I would have never had the conversation with Yeva about moving to Marbella alone. And I need, like, not I need, but like, if you know anyone who lives there, that'd be great. And like, subhanallah, she hit me with like, oh, Greta lives there. And that was what, 4 years ago. And till this day, me and Greta are tight. She's living in Dubai now. She just got engaged. Congrats. And so the idea that I just left to connect without the expectation, like, brought me a friend. And that's what I'm so grateful for. Like, just push yourself. Like, go. Like, if truly within your heart you don't have a bad feeling about something, like about it, I'm sure like we all sit there and we're like, oh, like there's a bad feeling about going to this event. Like I have a bad feeling. If you truly don't sit there and go like, there's a bad feeling, go. Have fun. Go meet new people. Even if you strike out not meeting a single new friend, like who cares? Who cares? You still went there with your friends. You still had a good time. Like life is all about experiencing. So like why just hope to wait? Like nothing comes to you if you sit and wait at home for anything. Like go out, do your part, make some friends. And that's how I kind of like do the tactics. And with friends that I had from birth, I want to say, I think it's really important that you don't take them for granted. Send them that meme, call them, check in on them, ask them about themselves once a week, twice a week, like hold on to them. Like if you truly want them in your life and you truly want them to be someone important to you, which I'm sure they are, and I'm sure that your life gets busy, but like send them that text. Be like, hey girl, like I miss you. How are you? You know, and just do that. Like I say when it comes to making friends, I think the most important thing is that you make the effort. Like make the effort. Ask for the number. Be like, hey, let's hang out. Looks like we both like, I don't know, we both like looking at wallpaper. Like let's go look at wallpaper together. Like why not? Like you should not just define friendship in your like your vision as like, oh, like this person needs to be my best friend for everything, and everything that we do, we have to do everything together from A to Z. Of course, you're probably going to have that one friend that you do A to Z with for sure. But not every single person that you come into contact with for the rest of your life who's going to be your friend is going to be someone that does A to Z with. Like, you know, like maybe there are friends that like to look at wallpaper, but there's a friend that doesn't have the capacity to look at wallpaper, but you guys can sit there and like watch TV together all the time. That's also your friend. Do you put this friend on the one that likes wallpaper on a higher stool compared to your friend who just wants to watch TV? No. Everyone has their special place in your heart. You have an activity together. That's what bonds you. So just read the vibe, get out of your head, ask them to hang out. Like what can you lose? They're going to tell you no, and you're like, yesterday they weren't part of your life. And if they say no, they're not part of your life today. So khalas, like, did you really lose anything? And life I don't even consider it risky. I don't even consider it like as a problem. Be like, hey, like, let's hang out. Maybe that person on the other line will be like, she's weird. Who cares? Who cares? I don't like, everybody in this world is weird. Everyone has their weird habits, but like to judge someone on their weirdness, I don't care. Honestly, I'd rather you be weird. The jokes that come out of my mouth with my close friends, yeah, like I hope you're weird. I made a joke to someone who kind of went like right past him. Yeah, like we're not friends anymore, which is fine. If you can't handle these jokes, probably should not be around me anyways. So that's fine. And just be open to connecting. That's what I think I would say. Like, you're going to see so many vibes. Be open to connecting. Give people chances. Get out of your own head. And I think that's where you should start. And then when you build common interests, you build common ground, you build trust, you build friendship, basically. And from there you can take it. You know, make the effort. That's with your friends from birth, and that's with your new friends. Make the effort. And because at the end of the day, this is your life. These are your friends. And if you want them in your life, you make the effort. If you want your business to go well, you put in the effort. So why should that be any different than putting effort in your friendships? Like, these are really important relationships, and I think they're important. You know, I find them very, very important, and they shape who you are, like who your friends are. Like, you know that saying, like, who are your 5 best friends? Like, I'll tell you who you are. like, but that will come later. Today is just about how to make friends and how I consider making friends. And yeah, so I hope something from this episode resonated with you, and I hope it vibed, I guess. So I hope you find that friend. I hope you actually know. I hope you take from this episode that you go call that person that you haven't talked to in a while and you want to hang out. Make the effort. Go outside. Grab that coffee. Look at that wallpaper. See you next week on Beaches and Matcha.